Alright, so we are officially now recording.
I'm clicking the button. Get like some kind of proper intro in here. Wait, before we watch the video. Hey guys, welcome in. Wait, just get like some general intro in there, right?
I mean, yeah, we should just roll it in. So we're okay.
All right. So are we gonna say that this is episode 1 of the podcast now, since we're doing, or season 2, episode 1?
I guess we can call it season 2.
That makes
that would make sense.
Let's do a take where we call it episode. Yeah, just call it whatever.
All right, you guys ready? Everybody take their blows out. And in 5, 4, 3. Hey guys, welcome back to season 2, officially season 2, episode 1 of the Triumvirate Gaming Podcast.
Can you believe it's season 2, guys?
all ready, and we are in a new format. We're doing a recorded format primarily for YouTube and podcast listeners. Let's get into it. First, I'm going to start with my man, the bespectacled mustache gentleman known as Silly Willy. How you feeling?
Hi guys, my name is Silly Willy TV.
Looking like an extra out of Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. Kill him slowly. Say what's up to the people.
Hey, yo. Some of you already know me. Some of you might be meeting me for the first time, but I'm killing slowly.
My name is High Fly Guy Kai. Welcome in.
You know, we are the Triumvirate.
We're just talking about a little bit of God of War Ragnarok. We got a new trailer for everybody to look at, for us to look at and react to too. I'm excited for this. Well, how you feeling about it?
So, how are you guys feeling about God of War? Do you think like this is a good direction that it's going? How you guys feeling about the sequel? You excited? Because I can say it a lot personally.
I mean, I think I'm just gonna call this one God of War more of the first. You know what I mean? Like, that's fundamentally something I know about most God of War games, is that they just give you more of that, which is pretty much all you can really ask of a sequel. Though I don't think it's gonna be anything like too shocking that we haven't already seen from the first game, which was phenomenal in itself. So more of the same. Why not? Right? Like, you just want more game.
Yeah, I don't want it to change too much, to be honest. I'm pretty satisfied with like all the systems that were in it. I just want to see the story conclude. Like, I think that's what most fans are probably here for anyway. Like, they want to see the conclusion to the story, because this has been mad interesting, especially like when you're trying to connect the lines between like where Kratos came from and where he is now. You're just like, yo.
Yes.
Oh my god. Well, have you ever played the older God of War?
I played the older ones. I did not play. I haven't actually played the one like with the new.
Well, I mean, yeah, but it'd be in PlayStation only, you know. So
that's the thing, is that it's PlayStation only. However, I want to play this on a PS5, and if I can't play it on a PC, but I don't have a PS5, and I don't even think this is it available for the. It is coming to the PS4.
Oh well, that's good. I mean, that's good. I don't want it, but that is a good thing for people who like want that.
Yeah, is that really gonna stop it from living out its full potential though? Like, if they decide to make a PS4 version of it, is that taking away from the PS5 version, so to speak?
I mean, in a couple ways, yeah. It depends. If they're going far enough just to make 2 versions, then no, nothing like that. But if they're like focused on a PS4 version, then like on the PS5 it won't look as good or run as well as it could have.
Well,
because they have to make runs for the PS4.
It could be like Stranger of Paradise, where like the PS4 version just looks like a D-res piece of shit. And,
yeah, you're right about that.
And then the PS5 version looks great. So
that wouldn't make me mad either. I'd be like, all right, listen.
It's pretty much a punishment. It's like, yeah, you still get the game, but you know, it looks like garbage.
I don't know if I'd actually want to play this.
Yeah, see, like you understand what I'm getting at, right? The most unbelievable thing here, though, is the fact that we finally get a release date and everything. Like, it comes out in November. of this year, which is surprising. I, for one, definitely thought that wasn't gonna come out until next year. From what you guys have seen of the story, how do you feel about it so far? You know,
I'm still going through God of War 1. I'm actually enjoying myself a lot. I like punching things. It's very satisfying in that game.
oh my god, dude! Not to derail, but if, bruh, you remember at the do you remember at the end in God of War 3 where you beating the shit out of Zeus?
Yeah.
Like 20 minutes. Like, when is this over? Oh wait, you gotta stop.
One thing the God of War series has always done very well is it's always wrapped up that impact in a nice, neat little bow, you know? So I'm going to finish God of War 1 and then, yeah, hopefully that sauces me up enough for God of War 2.
Yeah, I'm open too, man. Well, you know, anybody out there in YouTube land got any comments, questions, you know, throw it down at the bottom. Tell me what your favorite God of War moment is.
Do you think that the remake of God of War, not remake, but, you know, the continuation of God of War was Game of the Year worthy for the year it came out?
I think so. Didn't it win Game of the Year?
Yeah. And yeah.
For that year that it came out, for the games that was around it, yeah, that was utterly amazing. I mean, because you got to think about it. Like, God of War came out after, like, essentially its entire series was done. And that wasn't just a 3-game series. That was a, 1, 2, 3, 6. That was a 6-game series.
Well, wait, was it? Oh, yeah, on the PSP
there's
version.
3 on PSP that fill in the gaps. That game was actually amazing, not just when it came to like the combat, but the story. And then when you come out with the not the remake, but essentially the sequel series, like that game just hit every spot. Like it was still just as gory, but like it aged Kratos and it put him in a completely new light, you know?
I think that it was gonna be it was almost a guarantee. I mean, it was a well-made game. They did the things that they were supposed to do, tweaked the mechanics enough so that it was fresh for people, brought in a new character that you care about, and made it look, refreshed it.
Yeah, man, can't lie. You gotta give Cory Balrog a hand. Like he really made this game like amazing.
Next up, we're talking about Ubisoft. Ubisoft drops DLC, not in a good way.
Ubisoft recently announced they're pulling the plug on about 15 games DLC. And unfortunately, you won't be able to use any of it once these servers go offline. It's going to be Anno 2070, Assassin's Creed 2, 3, Brotherhood, Liberations, Revelations, Driver San Francisco, Far Cry 3, Ghost Recon Future Soldier, Prince of Persia Forgotten Sands. Like anyone is still playing that. But Rayman Legend, Silent Hunter 5, Space Junkies, Splinter Cell Blacklist, and Zombie U. I don't even know what that game is, but yeah.
Oh my god, that was a game that came out for the Wii U. It was it was a zombie game for the Wii U. It's pretty much the only way you could put that.
I don't like this, right? Like, I don't care that you're putting servers offline, like people can't play online on the servers. Like, that doesn't really matter. But like the fact that like people won't be able to buy the DLC that was for some of these games, it's like what? Why? Like that's the part to me that doesn't really make sense.
I thought about this for a while, and not one hoot is given about any of these games. I'm never going to play them. I played Far Cry 3 a long time ago, and like it's never dawned on me to pick up that game. For as quote unquote amazing as it was, I don't give a shit. Ubisoft, whatever you want to call yourself, I don't play any game that you come out with. So you go ahead and disconnect your whole goddamn library, and I will be fine.
Yeah, I mean, listen,
It's still stuff that either people paid for, or like is, you know, a kind of possibly a key component. Because I mean, like think about it. Like there's some games that like people are just gonna like possibly lose armor, or like what if a bug gets removed from it? You know what I mean? Like
the bigger question is whether or not, if you already have the downloaded content, are you going to lose the downloaded content? Which I highly doubt, because some of these games are on the Xbox freaking 360, and you don't need to be online and access downloadable content as long as you already have it on your hard drive. Who's the affected market?
What about game preservation? You know, like, aren't we supposed to be trying to preserve these games? Like,
if I have the DLC on my Xbox 360 and it's not connected to any online server, then it doesn't make a difference anyway. I still have full access to the game,
yes.
right?
That is very true. I mean, there's some things that will possibly be safe in here that, like, get the whole game preservation, ability to replay it, things not being screwed up, whatever angle you want to look at it from.
We need to kind of clarify here.
So I found a list of at least the PC games that have been affected by it.
Mhm.
For Anno 2070, it's multiplayer, linking accounts, and online play. Holy crap.
That's a lot. That's
That kind of took a second to sink in, but like, okay, so that's kind of big though. Assassin's Creed 2, multiplayer 2 and 3, and access to DLC. Okay, so for a lot of them, it's the multiplayer stuff. Drivers multiplayer, Far Cry's multiplayer, access to DLC.
They're
That's
shutting
the part
down.
that's killing me is access to DLC. Are you
All
saying like my DLC access is gone?
However, cutting off DLC and in one case an entire game is troubling. Space Junkies, the multiplayer VR shooter, costs $40 at release and remains available for Steam sale, with no notice that it will be rendered unplayable in
Okay, so yeah, it is just straight up DLC. No one's giving me like, oh, this is only partial. No, it's straight up DLC.
What do they expect is going to happen when people see this kind of thing? They're going to get upset.
A lot of Assassin's Creed DLC is like armor and weapons and like cool shit.
Okay, two thoughts just ran through my head. Number one was, is this actually legal? And I was like, yes, it is,
Yeah,
because
because you only buy a license to a game.
yes. Companies also, for some reason, make a huge thing of going after people for
Emulation
whatever.
has been persecuted against forever. I mean, there's a good enough reason against emulation, piracy, but not really. Like, the problem with the piracy argument is every year it gets just a little weaker. The more like technologically advanced we get, the weaker that argument becomes, because it's like if people really want to pirate your game, they're gonna find a way. Even if they can't emulate it, they will find a way. Like, come on, remember the Dreamcast? You could burn games onto disc on the Dreamcast. Come on now, like, yeah, you could really do that. That was a real thing. That's why the Dreamcast isn't a thing anymore. That's
why it was called the Dreamcast.
Like,
because it was a short-lived dream.
And then there's a lot of situations where they'll pirate it and buy it. Like, come on, man. I have multiple copies of games, and they're all bought. Yes, I would pirate Final Fantasy VII. Yes. Like, but I've already bought 2 copies. Ain't that enough? I think, like, one way to solve this is bring back the external hard drive, Like, Xbox 360, the arcade version had, like, external hard drives. Why can't we do that anymore? I buy my console and I download a bunch of my games on it. Like, why can't I just take the hard drive off and, like, resell the console and be like, well, at least all the games are right here in this external, like, hard drive.
So when I was looking online, it looks like this is primarily for the PC versions of games. The DLC, most of the console versions of the games aren't affected by.
That's even more unfair.
Yeah, it's targeted now. Yeah. So, final thoughts on Ubisoft?
Oh yeah, we gotta do stuff like that. Ubisoft sucks, man. I'm being real. Like, this is probably the only, like, company I'm a really, really go out of my way to protest. Like, I don't care for Ubisoft much. Like, not for their business tactics, not for, like, the essay stuff. Like, I'm not all right with that. Like,
so basically, if you guys want to play the DLC to Assassin's Creed 2, 3, and other games, then
if you play Ubisoft games on PC, you SOL. Enjoy.
In some unfortunate news, creator of Yu-Gi-Oh! Kazuki Takahashi was found dead in an ocean over in Japan recently, and our heartfelt, sincerest, like, positive energies and vibes go out to his family and to the fans of the Yu-Gi-Oh! Game. I know myself, I was personally a big fan. Up until recently, actually, I was playing Duel Links. and remember collecting the cards back as a kid.
This is heartbreaking. To be real, man, I grew up watching like Yu-Gi-Oh. I even went so far as to go read the manga. The manga and the anime are two very different things.
They are.
So like, yeah, this man, when I say like this is losing a piece of my childhood, it is like the one of the few successful card games. Like, come on, G.I. Joe cards ain't last this long. It makes me really like think like what's the world gonna be like without this man in it? Like what's the world gonna be like when like the creator of Pokemon dies, and the creator of Digimon is gone, and like just like all these like really popular like pieces of media from our childhood, like the creators are now at the age where they really can be dying.
Unfortunately, like they don't need to necessarily worry about whether or not the original creator is around for like these things to keep pumping out. Like I'm pretty sure the original creators are probably far removed from it anyway. You know what I mean? Like maybe they oversee a couple of things and they other, but like you think that like he really had like a hand in making like a trash bag Pokemon? You know what I mean? I'm talking for like, or
I would
whatever kind of weird action Yu-Gi-Oh's got going on at this stage in the game. Like, oh, we're gonna make chromium summoning now, So the cool thing is that he can watch and see his creation just spread love and joy all over the place. Like, and I think that's something that everybody should aspire to, is to be able to build something that the flame can then be carried on by others. You know what I mean? That they can turn it into something that brings joy to people's lives.
The EU is trying to regulate what kind of apps come pre-installed on people's phones.
A what?
So
bloatware.
Why?
Because like a lot of that shit you really don't need. Like if you look at like something like a Samsung.
Well, it's like a lot of it you can't uninstall. You can.
Yeah.
So it's still like on your system, taking up space.
I can actually attest to that for my job. There's an app that if you download it on most Android phones, it's a couple of them actually. One is like a Bible app. The other one is a casino, like a slots app, basically. If you download these apps to your phone, it immediately installs a virus that will then download other programs to produce malware on your phone. So like this will happen mainly with like older people, right? So they'll come in, they'll get these like one booster or cleanup app or phone booster. They'll have these dumb like disk cleaner names, and what they're basically doing is just trying to take money from people by saying we can get rid of the viruses on your phone when they are the virus on your phone. Pretty typical, level 1 virus shit, but still effective if this person is 70, 80 years old. So I understand that part, and bloatware as a whole is annoying for a lot of things, because you have a lot of apps that people come into my store every day and they complain about. I don't use this. Why is it on my phone? Why can't I delete it to make more space for things? These are complaints I've heard every day.
Glad to see someone's doing something.
Okay, so the reason why I find this exciting because sometimes, not all the time, I don't know actually if this would apply in the case of the United States, but if it gets good reception, then it may be something that people in the United States are like, oh shit, really? Okay, cool, yeah, guys. Senators, people, make that happen as well.
Yeah, I gotta agree with you.
I hope they find the people that like make like those like Happy Garden games, and just string them up on barbed wire. Or the guys who make like the ads that are like, this game's impossible to beat, and then it's like
only 14% of the population has gotten past level 9.
And it's like unplugging a plug. It's so hard, I don't understand. So we actually were gonna do a skit at one point where we like dressed one of us up like a French film director, coming into like a game studio to like pitch his like commercial idea for one of these like only 14% of the population can beat this game. But he was just like very about it. He was like, "You do not understand my brilliance. It is so easy, yet it is so hard." Like,
What?
It is so simple yet complex.
it's genius.
If this means one day I get to have a cell phone that has, I don't know, all of my memory space, that would be wonderful. That'd be absolutely wonderful. I
Buy a
don't need a
Pixel.
bunch of Metro apps on my damn phone. When the
Buy
only
a
thing I used to
Pixel.
do. What?
Buy a Pixel.
Buy a Pixel? No. I gotta buy a Pixel. Why can't every phone just come? No. See? That's the problem right there. I gotta go buy another expensive phone.
Come to Google.
They already harvest my data.
They're like, we don't have bloatware at all.
Right.
Would you buy? Let's say you could buy like either like an iPhone or a Galaxy or a Pixel, with like full workings and capacity, but it had no BIOS on it whatsoever.
Yes, definitely. 100%. No BIOS on it? Yes. I'm gonna be honest. Back in the day, I wasn't that into phones.
Remember that whatchamacallit?
That hootenanny.
that thing with the, that thingamabob. Apex in a tough spot. Basically, for anybody that doesn't know, Apex was recently dropped some new season 13 mid season changes, and apparently it's made a whole bunch of collective bugs in the game. So the player base, which is probably the more interesting part, player base has come together to do a hashtag ban Apex or another hashtag ban Apex store movement, which is basically saying that for a specific month they're not going to be playing Apex Legends or buying anything from the store. How do you guys feel about those two things? We'll start off with Maliki.
Personally, I want to start with the actual group that's saying forget all this noise. Like, let's ban Apex together. Get together. Don't play Apex for the month. Like, until they actually sit down and start fixing these things. Like, the more you give to these video game developers about things that you want fixed, but not actually doing anything about it, the more they'll just leave it the way it is. Like, come on, look at what state Halo and Halo Infinite is still in right now. Like, and that's ridiculous. But besides that, like, to be honest, I'm really against large content drops. Like, the more I think about it, the more like times things like this happens where game developers drop like large content drops and they just switch up the game and change everything, the less I like it. It's like, why can't we do these things like patch at a time, slowly? I know like people are impatient. That's definitely something that has to do with it, but like, I'd rather something be done right at this point, or like test servers or just open betas for stuff. Like, I don't know. There's so many ways around stuff like this now.
Regardless, people are gonna find a way to complain. I've just kind of come to this like feeling on the internet where these games, they drop a lot of content, then there's issues. Even if there wasn't any real like major issues, I know people would be like, "Oh, I don't like the way the game changed," and da 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 da. It would always be something. So while I do appreciate people being able to flex their collective muscle, and if you feel as though this is how you have to do it, I stand in full support of that. I'm just like, okay, like, whatever, dude. Like, for them to be like, hey, we're trying to do a massive content drop for you, and they got over ambitious, is what it sounds like. For people to be like, they need to hurry up and change this and that. I'm like, bro, like, it's like, you're fine, bro. Like it will get patched out. They have a proven track record that they will fix this, but apparently it's not fast enough for the community.
I'm sorry. I do kind of understand where the community is coming from, though. Like, especially since these are the same people that were behind Titanfall and Titanfall 2. I can understand where their worries are coming from,
I mean, but we're a long way from Titanfall, and Apex has been out for how many years now? Like about 6-7 years, something like that. And like, so far so good as far as like major like game breaking stuff.
Apex is 2-3 years old. Yeah.
Apex is way more than 3 years old.
No, the game launched with 8 Legends for the Xbox One, PS4, and PC on February 4th, 2019.
I just think there's a fundamental difference in saying like, hey, you know, like we want the game to be playable versus like going to the extreme of saying like, hey, we're gonna like basically like boycott your game for like running poorly.
No one's gonna play the game, and while that's happening, you have a couple days off to just fix the bugs and stuff.
Couple days.
But it's me from it's for me it's more outrage culture that like gets on my nerves.
It is, but at the same time, do we just sit in complacency? You know what I mean? Like, is there no hope? Is there no more desire to like, you know, try to fight back on something? And I still support the ultimate goal, what I hope could come out of this. A game company has to express what the players are asking.
I think we're all saying kind of the same thing here. It's important to be able to flex your muscle as a community, but it's also like wise to say like, hey, like is it something that would be fixed over time, or is it something that, you know, because people are right, they could Call of Duty the shit out of this.
Yeah, they really could. I was thinking about specifically that same protest. Like,
What was that again?
which Call of Duty was this? Was this 2?
Any Call of Duty.
But no, there's the legendary Call of Duty boycott, which a bunch of players were supposed to not play the game and boycott it on a day. And on that same day, they were all just in a lobby together playing the game.
Well, what I was referring to specifically was the massive amount of like bugs that Call of Duty has, and being as crappy as it was as far as fixes, specifically with stuff like anti-cheat. That was something that really needed to be boycotted. You know what I mean? Like when I think about a company that was like clearly just did not give a shit. Even though I still make the argument that it could be, you know, just how many players you have playing, it's almost impossible to get all the bugs. But, you know, for COD, it was just like, nah, you could have done something. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. They definitely could have done something.
Yeah.
And it's not even just about like the way the game ran. It's like the cheaters. Like, come on, you could have at least fixed the cheating problem way faster than what you did.
It looks like that's been another episode for us here. I want to say thanks to everybody that made it through to the end. And if you're watching on a different platform, thank you for watching there as well. Make sure you drop us a follow on, if you like the content, make sure you like, share, and subscribe. If you wouldn't mind dropping a follow on our Twitch page as well, twitch.tv/the_triumvirate_TTV. And also, if you want, we have a Discord that has plenty of fun things as well. So that being said, to wrap it up, my name is High Fly Guy Kai. It's been a pleasure to work with you, and I'll let the boys unintroduce themselves.
Will is chewing.
Hi everybody, my name is Stuffs His Face Willie.
As you already know, it's your boy Kill 'em Slowly. Thank you for joining us here today.